Burbank, it's Conan. Tonight, star bandman Paul Rudd, actor and comedian Wyatt Cenac, and comedian James Smith. Featuring Jimmy Vivino and the Basic Cable Band, I'm Andy Richter. Now, here he is, Conan O'Brien.
Have a seat, settle down. It's like you've never seen one of these shows before.
Gosh, it's a TV show.
Very nice. We got a great show tonight, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, my opinion doesn't mean much around here, but sure, I think it's great.
Doesn't come to rehearsal. How would you know?
Just a feeling.
Yeah. We have an excellent program tonight. So much to talk about. Hillary Clinton campaigning very hard for the presidency. She's out there getting that vote out. Getting that vote out. In an interview, Hillary Clinton said she likes nearly every flavor of ice cream. Yeah, when he heard this, Chris Christie said, hey, she stole my speech. Yeah, I thought that was wrong myself. I like every flavor of ice cream.
Come on, rum raisin?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know, ridiculous. A store in Houston is selling Donald Trump piñatas filled with candy. Get it back. Yeah. So finally, something good is going to come out of Donald Trump. I had to act out a lot of stuff there. A company is trying to fund a new endeavor, I'm not kidding about this, known as Uber for Kids. Yeah. So parents will soon be teaching their kids that they shouldn't talk to strangers, but they should get into a car with them. That's a true thing. That's like the worst idea. The crowd didn't find anything about that story amusing. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Would you? No, Uber for Kids, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Eh.
Don't care about your kids, huh?
I got two.
All right. iPhone users, this is in the news, iPhone users are reporting that Siri will correct them if they try to say Bruce Jenner instead of Caitlyn. In a related story, Siri is now asking to be addressed as Steve. Siri is now Steve. Time once again, ladies and gentlemen, for something that, well, America can't get enough of. Something we call, shut up. Something we call fan corrections. This is a segment where viewers try to find mistakes on our show. Real viewers try to find real mistakes. We're the only show that dares our viewers to find an error, okay? That has the courage to do it. So far, hundreds of challengers over the last several years, not one winner. Not one. No one's found a mistake. Well, tonight, a fan named Braxton Anderson thinks he caught a mistake. He says it happened during one of our shows at Comic-Con last week.
Hey, Conan. Last week's episode, you had a segment where you dressed a killer whale as Yoda from Star Wars.
Pretty cool costume for Comic-Con. Who are you? Who are you supposed to be?
Yet you gave him a red lightsaber. Everyone knows Yoda carries a green lightsaber. This is why I recommend you go home. Isolate yourself from friends and family and re-watch the trilogies. And may the Force be with you.
I didn't hear one word that guy said. I was distracted by his signed photo of Terry Bradshaw. He likes Star Wars and Terry Bradshaw. Those two rarely come together. Well, I'm very sorry, Braxton, but you are wrong. Now, I could tell you why you're wrong, but maybe it's better if you hear it from the Yoda killer whale himself. Let's bring him out here. Ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. Thank you, stagehands. He doesn't move as well outside the ocean. Say hello there, killer whale. Okay. Now, tell us, if you're supposed to be Yoda, why isn't your lightsaber green? It has blood on it. What are you talking about? Right again. You know what? It looks... Killer whale, I gotta say, it looks like you did what you had to do. Do you have anything now to say to Braxton? Asshole. Hey, take it easy. True story, I gave the special effects guy a hard time, did I not, at Andy rehearsal for not using enough water? Clearly dousing me was some kind of prank revenge, so... Shut up. Anyway, the challenge still stands. If you think you spotted an error on our show, report it at teamcoco.com/haha, I find an error. We'll sort it out right here on the air. Let's see if you have what it takes to make chump meat out of the maestro. We'll take a break. When we come back, starring the new me, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd is here. Actor and comedian Wyatt Cenac is here. He's a funny guy. Comedian James Smith. We'll be right back. Jimmy, go. Yes, indeed, my first guest starred in the Anchorman movies, Knocked Up, and Role Models. Starting tomorrow, you can see him in the highly anticipated new Marvel movie, Ant-Man. Please welcome our friend Paul Rudd. That is a nice reaction.
So nice. And it keeps getting nicer.
It just keeps building, and you should just get out now, because it's just gonna...
Good night, everyone.
Wow, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, you are a Marvel superhero now. This is a huge... You're in the Pantheon.
I'm in the family.
You're in the family.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I know, it really is. It's kind of overwhelming. I'm still not so sure it's true.
Yeah, it's true. I saw the movie. I really enjoyed it. I saw Ant-Man. I loved it. You're getting all of this attention, word of mouth. I saw this magazine cover just the other day, GQ, and I see you on the cover, and I'm like, this is fantastic. Paul, my friend Paul, is on the cover of GQ magazine. But then look, and it took me like 5 minutes for someone to convince me that's not you, that's Chris Pratt. That's absolutely stunning. You guys look so much like each other.
It's, in that picture, even I see it a little bit, but it's weird. A lot of people said, you're on the cover of GQ. I said, I'm not. And then I see Pratt.
Yeah.
But a lot of people confuse me for other people.
Is that true? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? You get that a lot? You get people thinking that you're someone else?
About 2 days ago, James Marsden, I don't mean to drop a name, but he's a colleague and a friend.
Terrific actor, yeah.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Yeah.
Sends me a...
Hey, he's all right.
Settle down.
I didn't want to get,
Yeah, come on.
But he sends me an email saying, I didn't know you fish. And I said, I don't. He said, I saw this picture of you online, and you're an angler. Clearly. He sent me a picture.
Let's see the picture.
I
You have
brought
a picture
it.
here? Wait. Hilarious. So wait a minute. So this is not you.
That is not me. And even I had to take like a triple take because it looked like me.
Right.
But it's not me.
So you were looking at that picture thinking, when was I fishing and wearing European
I had
Speedos?
to like zoom in on the face and it's not me. But the thing that really was confusing to me was, what was James Marsden looking at?
What was he searching for?
That's what he dug up. What was he searching for?
Yeah.
He was a fisherman? Speedos
Speedos plus mahi-mahi.
A common search.
And that guy is probably somewhere out there. Like, what? His picture's on this show.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's right. And he's not getting paid a cent.
Sorry.
Are you the kind of guy that would wear that bathing suit? Are you comfortable with showing a lot of skin?
I'm pretty comfortable with showing a lot of skin, but I don't know if I'd wear that bathing suit. There was about 5 minutes when I was a kid, like junior high, where all my friends were wearing Speedos. So I bought one, but I wore it twice. I'm like, nah, I'm going back to the clam diggers.
Yeah. I like as much bathing suit on me as possible. And you know what? Everyone else likes as much bathing suit on me as possible.
The thing is that my body I look a little bit like a thumb. In general, I have kind of a...
Your whole body looks like a thumb?
I got like a bit of a funny body.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I look like a thumb.
So you're not going to elaborate on that. It's not. You're not.
Well, I'm not.
Your naked body.
No, it's fine. I mean, you know, I got like a kind of like a mushy butt sometimes, and somebody went. Whoop. But no, it's.
But you're the kind of guy that you're not uncomfortable being naked. You know, like.
Well, it depends on the setting. Sometimes I think it's super funny.
You think being nude is funny?
Oh, it's very funny.
Yeah.
Something I used to do a lot, and then I stopped. Was I thought it was.
This could go anywhere. This sounds like there are detectives watching that are leaning forward. I'm looking for that guy.
I used to go into kind of like public restrooms.
Yes.
At urinal. I'd stand at a urinal.
Yeah.
And pull my pants all the way down like a kid.
Really?
And stand
Like a little kid.
like a little kid, but like a grown man. I would do this.
Yes.
And you don't expect to see it.
Right.
It's funny to me.
That's funny. I have to say, a grown man doing that is funny, but you're doing this in public?
Well, I was usually like for the benefit of like a friend that I'm, might be peeing with. The last time I did it, I was on I was on a press tour with Jason Segel, and we were at this Much Music. I remember it was in Canada. It was like their MTV. We were in their. I said, I just have to use the restroom before we go on air, and I knew he was gonna go to the bathroom too, so I ran in first, and I did it. And there was no one else in the bathroom. I was standing up, just like completely, bare-assed, standing at the urinal, and the door opens, and it was just like some guy that worked for Much Music.
Oh no! And it wasn't Segel?
No, and so I was in the bathroom by myself. This guy walked in and was legitimately freaked out. I saw his expression was, and then I was so freaked out that I didn't even play it off funny, and I said, "Oh, I thought it was going to be somebody else."
Oh, no! That's fantastic.
Which was not the thing to say, and then I walked out, and Jason never even came in.
Right.
And then I walked out, and I just saw that guy talking to some people that he worked with like all ashen face.
But see, that guy is living off that story. He's telling everyone he knows that Paul Rudd was, he's naked at the
in
urinal.
public restrooms.
Yeah.
I wish you'd shuffled out with your pants around your ankles.
This was a mistake. That would have been the move.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, find out more embarrassing things from Paul Rudd after this. I've known you for a long time. You are from Kansas, and and you moved here when you were quite young, right?
Well,
just getting started out in the business.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I lived here, I was a little kid. Then I moved to Kansas. When I was 10. I then decided to try and be an actor. I moved out here when I was 20.
Okay.
And it was pretty rough there.
I have to say, I had the experience of moving out here when I was 22. And it was like going to the moon.
Yeah.
I was just getting started in the business and not having any idea, not really having a real job yet and not knowing what I was going to do and being freaked out. Was it like that way for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had a school that I was in that I was able to go to for a little while, but you have no money and I didn't know the areas. I was living in a very strange place. I didn't have a bed. For a while.
What do you mean you didn't have a bed?
I just didn't have a bed.
I had a bed.
Yeah, I didn't even have a... I started crashing at a friend's house because I couldn't afford rent. I laid down a bunch of towels. I slept on about 5 towels for a while. And then I got an apartment. I was able to get an apartment in the complex and actually found a mattress in the dumpster in the carport. And I thought, sweet, free mattress. So I hauled it up to my new apartment slept on it, woke up the next morning covered in red bumps. But I kept it.
No, you didn't. That's when anyone else burns it. So clearly there's vermin. There's vermin in the bed.
I think I sprayed it with Lysol, and then I just like, and because when you're 20, you're just like, and then eventually just the bumps went away.
Well, wait a minute. What did you do for food? If you have no money for, could you get groceries?
There was a place. This is true. There was a place right next door, called I won't say the restaurant because I could be sued. It was terrible, and it was all you can eat Chinese food for $2.50.
Oh my God.
I used to take my backpack filled with Tupperware, as if I couldn't even afford $2.50 every day, and I would go to the food bar that looked like a rainbow trout. There was so much MSG sprinkled on top of it, and I would put it in these Tupperware bins and then stuff it back in my backpack and heat it up to eat the next day. But I would eat so much of it. One time I ate so much of it, I got up to leave and fainted.
He's an MSG shot.
My roommate Bo and I, he lived in the complex. Bo and I, we would laugh. We would eat so much, we would just start hyperventilating and laughing. I mean, what are we doing to ourselves? We'd get dessert and then go back for like mushu pork. And then I remember laughing and then getting up and I fell back. And the last thing I remember seeing was my friend Bo's face reaching for me, and then I kind of came to, and he had fallen over. He was laughing so hard.
Well, now things have changed. You've had a very successful career. You are now Ant-Man, and you have a terrific ensemble cast here. And your cohorts in the movie, the guys that are helping you out, are very funny. They're great characters. Rapper T.I. is in the movie with you.
Yeah.
Did you know him before? Had you worked with him before?
I'd never worked with him. I'd never met him. I kind of knew who he was, but I'm so kind of out of it. Like, I'm not in the cool, like, things that everybody knows, I don't know.
Right.
So I knew he was, and I knew he was a rapper, and when I met him, I'm like, he's so out of my league in the coolness department. And he's also from Atlanta, which is where we shot the movie, and he was so nice. But I was like, oh, this is your town. You know, I want to see it. Show me around. Take me out with you and your buds. And he's just like, looked at me, like, y'all don't think you, yeah, okay.
He just didn't want to, he just thought like you can't.
Well, I think he said like, yeah, anytime you want, but I mean, I think he knew I would have been so kind of tired by 10 o'clock or something. But he was great, and it was awesome working with him.
Your kids must be excited that you're Ant-Man.
I think so, yeah.
I have a 9-year-old boy who's just like, just can't wait for Ant-Man, and he and his friends have been talking about it. They're really excited about it, so I thought, okay, your kid's got to be psyched.
Yeah, you know, at first he was kind of playing it cool, and I still see him kind of trying to play it cool, but he's pretty jazzed. My son is 10. My daughter's 5, and she just kind of is more into Sophia the First, as is most of the audience. But she knows about it, and his buddies are really into it, and so it's pretty cool. They've never seen a movie that I've done. They've never seen me do anything.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, most of the stuff is not really suitable for children.
Yes, right.
But
really?
But I've never, I've made it a very specific kind of thing to separate my life and then my job. And occasionally we'll flip around on TV and something will be on, like Anchorman or something for a few minutes, and then we'll watch it. But then it's like, click it off.
Let's turn that off. I think that's I think that's good. I like my kids to think that I'm a realtor. You know? I'm always saying, yeah, I sold another house in the valley, and they're like, good job, Dad.
But they really don't seem that interested in this, in like any of the movies that I've done or anything. But this one, there's something I think about the shrinking element and the ants that kids are drawn.
The special effects are great. There's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of fun visuals of you becoming really small, and then the world that you're in, and some of the problems that you encounter it's
right. Well, there's a whole new technology that they've used to kind of film this. I mean, it wasn't like in maybe some other movies that they've done previous to this, where they have a practical thing like a big giant pencil or thumbtack or something, and I'm running around. This was all macro photography unit. They had a whole separate unit filming everything so close up, so it's all real. And then the technology that they use, they kind of put me in it.
Well, let's take a look at it. We have a clip here from Ant-Man. Do you want to set this up?
Yes, in this clip, I'm kind of learning from Michael Douglas, who plays a character named Hank Pym. He's like the original Ant-Man. And he's trying to kind of show me the ropes, and he's putting me through a little bit of a training session. And unfortunately, like most training sessions, things don't always go according to plan.
Okay, let me just bring up one thing quickly. You've been coming on the show for many, many, many years, and you do this one thing consistently, which is you say, we're going to see a clip, and then I throw to what I think is a clip, and it turns out to be a clip from this terrible E.T. ripoff called Mac and Me, and you have done this to me, I think, about 30 times.
I know, and I just...
But I just wanted to bring it up because we're now talking about, you've been in big movies, but this is a Marvel movie.
Right.
And this is something that's serious.
Yes, and that's why I feel like, and I'm glad you said it because I have to address it. I can't, obviously, and kills me, and I feel dumb that I'm not going to be able to show it this time. But obviously, Marvel and this whole machine, they get pretty
upset if you don't.
So
do that, yeah. And we didn't want to upset like the nerds and the people and the real hardcore nerds. The hardcore fans.
Sorry, nerds.
Yeah. The hardcore fans that pay my rent. Nerds. No. I didn't want to. We don't want to. Whatever. Freak them out.
Right,
So or upset them. So this is
good that we address.
This is you learning from Michael Douglas. Let's take a look.
You've learned about the suit, but you've yet to learn about your greatest allies. The ants. Loyal, brave, and your partners on this job.
So as you can see, it doesn't go according to plan, and I have a lot to learn.
Why don't we show the real clip from the highly anticipated Marvel movie, Ant-Man.
You've learned about the suit, but you've yet to learn about your greatest allies. The ants. Loyal, brave, and your partners on this job.
I'm so excited that everybody seems so excited for the movie.
Yeah. You were right about the effects. They are spectacular.
Top notch.
Ant-Man opens tomorrow. Paul Rudd, great man. He's a great man. He's a great man. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. We're back. My next guest is a comedian and former Daily Show correspondent who can be seen live on his Furry Dumb Fighter stand-up tour. Please welcome Wyatt Cenac. Wyatt, thank you for being here. First question I have to ask you is the name of your comedy tour is Furry Dumb Fighter.
Yes.
Why?
Because I needed a title.
That's it.
I just took 3 words.
Yeah.
And no, it was because I think from working on the Daily Show, people, they'll come up to me and they'll just be like, oh, what you do is so important. Like, you're speaking truth to power and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not like, they really make it out where it's like, you're like a freedom fighter. And it was like, I'm not really a freedom fighter, but if you say furry dumb fighter fast enough, it kind of sounds like freedom fighter. I was like, that's kind of closer to what I am.
Yeah. Well, last time you were on the show, you were promoting some stand-up that you were going to do, and you said you were worried about it because the club you were going to play was across the street from where Dave Chappelle was playing, and you were worried that no one was going to see you because they'd all be seeing Chappelle. Is that right?
Right, that's right. And
how'd that work out for you?
Most of Madison, Wisconsin did go see Dave Chappelle. Who knew?
Yeah.
People came out to my show. My show was actually, I think because I was able to promote it here, the venue said, oh, thank you so much. And, you helped with ticket sales. And then the other venue where Chappelle was at, they actually reached out and they said, thank you. You sold like 3 tickets for us. So they were like, the shows were already sold out. But then like 3 more people you reminded them they had tickets.
Right.
So
that's nice. You plugged a show that wasn't even yours. That's nice.
No, that's what I'm all about, using these opportunities to help anybody but me.
let's talk about you. You were born in New York City.
I was.
And then you moved to Texas? Is that
I moved
right?
to Dallas, Texas when I was a baby.
Yeah. Did you
One
like?
person has heard of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. Did you like living in Texas?
I did not. Sorry, one Dallas person.
I love that guy went woo, and now he's hearing, no, you didn't enjoy it there.
I totally alienated him.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy Dallas, and one of the things I didn't like about it was Dallas, there are no basements in Dallas. And so I would go other places when I was a kid, like I would go to Cleveland, and in Cleveland, people have basements, and they like finish them out, and they turn them into like fancy like theater rooms or like workout rooms.
Play ping pong or whatever.
Yeah, you can't do that in Dallas. So my main complaint with Dallas was no basements.
So you actually grew up thinking, I wish I could live in Cleveland?
Yes, yeah, oh, yeah. I loved Cleveland.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the city for me.
Yeah.
This place, Cowtown, but that place, oh, basement.
Cleveland, the big city. But what about New York? New York's got to be incredibly fantastic for you.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of basements, which is nice.
You've got to get a criteria other than basement.
Well, here's the thing. I will say that's a tough thing now as an adult man who's single. It's very difficult for me to go look for an apartment and be like, what's your basement situation like?
I got some stuff I got to do.
Yeah. Can you hear yelling from inside the apartment?
Can anyone get out of the basement? Yeah.
What about ventilation? How's the ventilation?
Yeah.
I like living in Brooklyn. I live in a brownstone, and so I have a stoop, and I like to sit on the stoop, and that's fun because you kind of watch people go by, and it's nice. I try every now and again to see if I can start a barbershop quartet or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work out. But there are some weird things. Like I was sitting on my stoop. This happened where this woman was walking her children home, and she had two kids. She had a baby that was in a stroller, and then she had another kid that was hanging off the back of the stroller. Because they make like little like sissy bars now where another kid can like hang off and like throw stuff or something. Yeah. And so the kid on the back was screaming and he was just like, I want to go back where we were. I want to go back where we were. And watching it was like, wow, this kid feels really strongly about gentrification.
Or he might have just been Republican.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so he's just having this tantrum and his mother's just like, Alexander, stop it, Alexander. And then eventually, he just keeps screaming, and he realizes, like, this argument's not going to get anywhere like this. It's time to take some action. And so he just went dead weight on the concrete right in front of my stoop.
Right. And you're just sitting there?
And so I'm just sitting there, and the mother does that thing that parents sometimes do. I see them do it in, like, grocery stores where they want to, like, get the kid to come, but they pretend to, like, they'll be like, bye, I'm leaving you.
Right.
I'm leaving, goodbye.
Yeah.
And so she started doing that, but then she really left.
She left?
She went home.
And just left the kid there?
And just left the kid with me.
Right.
And I don't know this lady. Like, I've never met her before, and I don't know this kid. And it's just him and me, and, like, I kind of want to leave, but at the same time, it's like, I now have to babysit this child.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I'm watching, I'm just like, this isn't how Batman got Robin. Like, this is not good at all.
Yeah. So wait, so what happened?
So I'm just sitting there and he's still screaming. He's like, I want to go back where we were. And I'm like, go, you won. Go. Just and then he eventually, like, he's still kind of half screaming, but now he's got like a rock and he's drawn on the concrete. And I really am like babysitting a child. And his mom was gone for like 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then she finally came back. She didn't have the other kid with her, so I don't know what she did with that kid. She just left him with somebody else. Yeah. But she came back and like she picked up the kid and she was like, Alexander, come on. And then they start walking home. She never turned to say like, thank you, or like offer me money for babysitting her child.
Right.
And it was just like, that's rude. Like, that's not how you get a nanny. Like, you don't just find a brown person who's free at 2 on a Tuesday. It's like, here you go. Yeah.
So did you ever see that family again?
I see them every now and again, and I see now like the whole family, like with the father as well. Right. And sometimes I want to run up and just be like, "Hey, Alexander, remember our special time together?" And then just run away.
You're a bad guy. All right. Well, Wyatt's going to be taking his Furry Dumb Fighter tour to the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal at Cafe Cleopatra. July 20th through 25th. Go and see him there. Wyatt. Good man. Wyatt Cenac, everybody. Take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. We're back, everybody. My next guest is an Australian comedian who is making his U.S. late-night debut with us this evening, and who can be seen July 22nd through the 25th at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal, Canada. We're thrilled he's here. Please welcome James Smith.
Thank you, everybody. How are you guys? That's good. Me too. I am trying to decide whether I want to be single or in a relationship. Now, when you're single, it's a lot like being unemployed. You say you want a job, but really, you just want money. Because 2 weeks into the job, you're like, oh, that's right. I hate working. Exactly the same in a relationship. 2 weeks in, you're like, oh, that's right. I hate people. But I'm really lucky because I have this voice in my head which keeps me very accountable. So if I see a beautiful woman in the street and I'm like, oh, I would do anything to be with her, then the voice kicks in. It's like, really? What would you do? Would you go to the gym? Would you get a job? No, you wouldn't, would you? See why you're not with her? Yeah, that's pretty clear. Thank you, inner voice. I guess if the woman said, listen, if you go to the gym and get a job, I'll go out with you, then I'd probably work towards it as a goal. But I just refuse to do it on spec. I'm not walking around all fit with a great job just in case. Too risky. I'm trying to understand how life works, and I've learnt this. You have to date people that you really like. It can't just be physical, because if it is, it's doomed. Because men are bipolar when it comes to sex. Pre and post-sex, we are two different people. Pre-sex, very enthusiastic. Yes, I agree with that. Ha, 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 that's so funny. Just the lies, the deception. Oh. I hear myself talking to women. I'm like, shut up. Oh. And it's all for what? Just to get laid. But the second that you climax, you're like, what have I done? It's like a murder. There's a naked body here. How do I get rid of it? I have left my own apartment after sex. Do you know how uncomfortable that is? They're looking at you going, where are you going? I can't. Just steal whatever you need. Something happens to men during orgasm. Something leaves our body. I think it's interest. And you can't get that back for roughly an hour. And yet women are so comfortable afterwards. They're like, what do you want to do now? Anything. Not with you. I'll do anything you like, but you can't be there. And I really hate that that happens to us as men, because I adore women. I think they're incredible. Just the fact that they agree to pregnancy. They're just like, yeah, sure. I'll let someone live inside me for 9 months. 9 months. People say to me, can you hold this? I say no. I'm James Smith. Thank you very much.
Hey, fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Terrific. And thank you so much. Thanks for being here. James Smith.